What's up, gamers? It's your Cryptid. We're back with Sports Ball. Hello, J-Dog. Hello, Lycander. I'm glad to hear you're doing well today, J-Dog. Me too, actually. I'm having a good day. I'm really excited about the Nintendo Direct that we had earlier. And, we're gonna wrap up some Pyre today. Gonna free my friends. Heck yeah! There's no time now to return to Moonlight Alcove as before, as the stars already urged you on. Everyone is ready to make haste for the cairn of Haub. Hey Soleil! Hello, hello! How are you today? Gotta take off. Just zoom in. Oh, we got a thingy. Volford approaches you as you fly above his hidden lair at the Moonlight Alcove. You cannot help but wonder if you'll ever return there. Our dear alcove. I've asked my agents to break down this place. It soon shall be gone if it isn't already. We shall not be returning. We've not the time to do so anyway, and with Oralek back among the living now, and no longer fond of me, I dare not think what he would do with it. Unfortunately, hiding places are of little value once they're found. Once all of this is over, those of us who do not manage to return, we shall have to find another place to live, to try to live at least. Oh, by the way guys, the weather's nice, so I have the window open. So you might hear like noises and stuff. If it's a problem, let me know. Lycander says, how many days before the new Pokemon can you be fashionably late to the hype? I do the same thing sometimes. With certain games, I'll kind of like ignore all of the trailers and like news about it. I'm gonna get him. Oi, mates, look at what ran into us again. Get ready for some payback for last time. You know, I gotta say, I kinda like your style there. Come right on crashing into us like you ain't even care. That's pretty good. Keep telling my mates here we ought to do the same. I like them. I know they bullied Rookie, but I still like them. The funny Australian dogs. I'm gonna get these guys. I'm gonna get them. Hey, wanna rumble here and now, huh, Nightwings? Ain't gonna take us down again like last time. Too bad we all got somewhere else to be, but we Timbers sure are flattered that you took the time to ram right into us again. Be seeing you around. It just never stops being funny. It's good every time.
It grew by 1.
Hey JD! I swear it was just 48 months. How does time go that fast? It freaks me out sometimes. But thank you. Thank you for the resub, JD. The forbidding cairn of Haub lies below. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remains of the Shack's 6 shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through to flagging hands. Or the Titan. Few know its true significance as we do, although your adversaries, the Essence, should be on their way here now. Soon you shall confront them once again. Faye or Gilman? Maybe I go to Gilman. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Volfred. Oh ho! You've returned. How can I help you? Please, reader, leave me be. I ask that you leave me be. Go about your business. Go. Watch the stars die out and get your idiots their freedom. And you be sure to tell that herald with whom you consort that Under the Unseen did her job. You tell him that. Perhaps that way he shall put in a good word, and the scribe shall finally provide for me a bit of reprieve. She falls silent for a time. I do not know what else to do, reader. But you remain with her, letting her draw whatever strength and comfort from your thoughts as you're able to afford. That was kind of you. However, let us conduct our business. I care not for your pity. Do not come visit me again like this without my asking, I insist. You told one of your friends, J-Dog? How did it go? Just name the victim, I shall be more than pleased to make him or her suffer for a bit. You asked Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Wolfred. That fancy-talking sap, you mean. I shall be interested to see if he has learned something since we last sparred like this. Then let us bring him forth. He was really nice? That's good. Sounds like you got a good friend. Soon Wolfred appears and heeded the summons. So it's my turn then, is it? Then let us see what we can do, my girl. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, Sap, you answer to me here. As you will, O Sandra the Unseen. Proper as ever, then, though I wonder if you have the wherewithal that you project. Show me then what you can do without the benefit of those whom you would lead, and let us see if you and your lovely reader have reached a thorough understanding as of yet. I don't know how this is gonna go. The answer is it's not. It's not gonna go. Oof. They're just not gonna pick up the ball. They're just gonna camp it. Get him! Get him, little plant! Get him! Attack! Attack! Hey. Oh. He doesn't really have like a good way to attack. All he has is this little plant. Dang. You finally touched the ball. Got him. Whoa! Whoa! Got it. How you like them apples, huh? Oh, I thought my ore would get him first. Back off. Huh? No. I pretty much have to wait for them to touch the ball. That's like the only time I can attack. No, I was right there. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. No, Yeah, I gotta attack like the AI do. That's what I gotta do. I gotta throw the ball at them. And then kill them. Yes. I'm learning from the AI strategy. There's no shame in it. there? Why are they just standing there? What's the deal? No, it's not fair. His aura's bigger than mine. Mutual destruction. I'm right there! Okay. Phew. I was gonna say, come on. I'm grateful for the privilege of your time, good Sandra. Flattery shall never get you anywhere with me, Sap. Nonetheless, your performance was sufficient, and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order. To you and to your lovely reader. Now, farewell. I'd not seen that Sandra in some time. She's not changed a bit. But it would seem she left something for us, did she? Lose bow. Oh, he teleports farther. Okay. That's nice. That's some good stuff. Who among you has the wherewithal to face this night? Being in the barren wastes of Lixan makes this the perfect time for a quick jousting competition, Sir Gilman says. He just needs a partner. One of your companions steps forward. You wish to fight somebody, Little Knight? Then come, let's see what you can do. At this, Sir Gilman launches into a litany of instruction detailing the specific methods of Sea Dominion ceremonial combat. At last, the two competitors take their position and then rush toward one another. They collide and flail away, trading blow for blow. It all seems rather senseless. When at last they stop and catch their breath, Sir Gilman approaches you. This night would have you choose the victor of this bout, Master Reader. Who prevailed? You have no idea how to evaluate what you just saw, but think it best to humor them. It's a tie. You declare the outcome of the joust to be a perfect tie. Sir Gilman stares at you for a moment. Indeed, a most wise estimation, like always. Pamtha congratulates him on an honorable fight. You notice Bertrude studying the Beyonder crystal. She sets it down as you approach. The mouthy wraith rebuketh our attempt to summon her. She insisteth that we are too young to understand. Ner. She must be referring to Sandra. It seems that Bertrude may be able to invoke her. Stubborn, that one, possessing of an ancient understanding, old in ways and old in times. Many centuries of history, knowledge of the 8 scribes themselves, held captive there within that green-tinged stone, within that wraith's own memories. Would that we could extract them in some way. Perhaps thou couldst induce the wrath's obedience, reading one, for we she heedeth not, she claimeth obligations unto only thee. Although, nah. She stops and thinks very carefully. The Beyonder crystal is not to be tampered with. Your fellow exiles know that its use is at your sole discretion. She backs away from you, still thinking to herself. Ignores these our inquiries about this reading one. Our reasoning has taken us elsewhere. Her refusal to cooperate is likely to be an ancient warning of some sort. Nah. 'Tis possible that others of the southern bogs know something of her, but we shall not be tampering further with such sorceries ourselves. That the wraith refuses to cooperate suggests that her predicament is suitably deserved. She heads out in a huff, but just as the air grows still and quiet, you sense something from the Beyonder crystal. Mouthy wraith, she says. Can you believe it, reader? Ah, to be so young and foolish again. Sandra the Unseen laughs to herself. Your proximity to the Beyonder crystal must have been sufficient to invoke her in this case. That crone of yours is far too curious, I think, but it appears that even she has learned her lesson in this case. Thank the stars I'm beholden to no more than one among you Nightwings at a time, and thank the stars that it happens to be you rather than her. And if that crone attempts to lay her fingers on my Beyonder crystal again, I shall just have to torment her dreams till she's my age. Do feel free to mention that, if it comes up. Now farewell, you know where to find me, lovely reader. She vanishes. It seems that Sandra proved resistant to Bertrude's tampering. If so much history is trapped within the Beyonder crystal, there it shall remain for the foreseeable future. I thought I was going to be able to talk to Gilman, but I guess not. Time to fight some harpies. Halt, everyone! I beg you, please forgive my rudeness here. The black wagon has shuddered to a stop en route to the cairn of Haub. There's some commotion as the lone minstrel motions for everyone to be still. Someone is there along our path ahead. He points into the distance. However, when you scan the horizon, everything is still. You see no sign of whomever the lone minstrel referred to. Still, he indicates caution. Strange, I do not believe I was mistaken. A tense moment passes, then another. Then the lone minstrel tenses up. Our guest, he is there. You look toward where he signals, and then at last you see the cause of his concern. There's no mistaking who it is. Oralek stands there near motionless atop some forgotten rock, jutting from the dusty wastes, a fair distance away. He stands directly on the path of your black wagon. Yet he shows no sign of acknowledging the wagon's presence. He appears only to be waiting for something, likely for you all. The lone minstrel gets your attention quietly. Reader, what do your senses tell you at this time? Oralek may have come with ill intent. Hail him! There has to be a way to reason with Oralek and bridge the differences between him and his former triumvirate. Perhaps he has come to negotiate. Perhaps you are correct. Let us try and make contact with him then as we proceed. You give the signal for the drive imps to start the wagon and head toward him. But just as you reach the point where Oralek once stood, it seems our guest has already departed. Let us remain watchful as we proceed on course. Indeed, Oralek is nowhere to be found now. The unnerving encounter causes everyone to fall silent for the remainder of the trip. I don't know. Your wagon finally arrives at the cairn of Haub, where there's still no sign of Oralek or your adversaries for that matter. Your companions organize a quick search about the premises, leaving you to watch the wagon until the rite's commencement. Something's wrong. Someone is here, alone with you. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Xylobones? Doesn't have a sound effect though, I'm surprised. Oh hey Alcidian, good evening! How are you doing today? And have you watched the Nintendo Direct yet? I think there was also a PlayStation one. Oralek seems to have something on his mind. Oralek seems to be examining various objects in the wagon. Whether he's noticed you cannot tell. What he's doing here and how he got in unnoticed, you cannot imagine. You watch him go about whatever he's doing, examining all sorts of things that you and your fellow exiles gathered on your journey. He shakes his head. All of these trinkets. This wagon is most different now. Welcoming, and yet I am unwelcome here, it seems. You're less tired? That's good. I'm doing good myself. I'm having a good day. The PlayStation event is later today? Oh, okay, gotcha. I'll probably have to watch a VOD of it. Here in my own wagon. He directs his gaze at you, acknowledging your presence for the first time. You, a mere shadow. Tell me something. Who are you to them? Say you are their reader. Say you are their friend. Say you are no one. Say nothing. I am the reader. You tell them that your role among the Nightwings is as their reader. You've traveled alongside them for some time and bear the book, together with the others. You are a fool then, reader. You let them use you willingly. Relay to them a message from me, Shadow. Tell them I shall have my night. He strides right past you towards the door, but then he turns to you again once more. I shall have my night. Then Oralek is gone. You know, if he just asked to rejoin the group, I would let him graduate. How ironic that the shattered remnants of the Bone Titan Shaxx Six Shoulders, which once stood vigilant over the archway into Flagging Hands, remain now as forbidding as when that horde monster still possessed unnatural life. After little Haub dispatched the Bone Titan in a feat of ingenuity, Shaxx's pieces fell into the valley floor, forming a set of standing stones which Haub marked. Further traces of the Titan's glacial blood coagulated into perfect frozen drops, which still shimmer in the darkness. Six Shoulders seems to start reanimating when the stars above him dance a certain way. Paint the sigil then in the shining light. Several of your companions return as you exit the wagon. You explain what happened. However, none of them saw Orlek. Most concerning, reader, though I am thankful you are well. Orlek, he always was a peaceful individual, and yet his disposition is much different now. Perhaps we best inspect the wagon for any signs of tampering in light of those events. You and the others conduct an exhaustive search in and around the black wagon for any signs of objects missing or tampered with, as well as signs of damage or foul play. The search yields nothing. No one finds any sign that anything was moved or tampered with. Even the drive imps seem calm. The incident leaves you questioning your own recollection of what happened. You try to clear your mind, for the rite is now soon to commence. Chubby. Hey guys, say I noticed your little imp tail. He ain't with you anymore. Is he okay? I heard the wildest thing that somehow he got out of here back to the other side. I'm like, why would an imp want that? Well, the Bearer's Triumvirate is banished. Adversaries are slowed and cannot use abilities. That's kind of cool, I guess. But $200 is too much. I don't have that much money. Bum, bum, bum. What is this? Oh, that's Lou's bow. Hey, girl! Hello, hello! Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Haub's wing sells for a lot. Probably because I maxed it out. Oh, thank you for the Glub Goo, thank you. How am I doing? I'm doing very good, thank you for asking, Goo. I'm in a good mood today. Let's see. How much was it, 200? I'm doing it! I'm doing it! I'm gonna buy it! I bought it!
You were lactose, Poppy.
That's how you get a repeat customer, Dad. You give him a deal. Now we got some more book to read. Lycander, no! No rune arc! It's not Elden Ring time! We're not playing Elden Ring right now, no rune arcs! Slug markets. There are natives in this land with some capacity for thought, an oddly keen instinct for the mercantile, suspicious creatures but not disagreeable entirely. From time to time we make exchange with them. They lust for coins, for the imperial soul, though why they do not say. We speculate it is a delicacy. It serves us little purpose here, whilst their slug market wares are sometimes valuable. The creatures appear drawn to places where the heavens shine the brightest, perhaps because they know we are as well. What they want exactly is unclear. We taught them of our lands, yet they remain preoccupied with simpler things. Another Glub, my goodness. Thank you. Use the rune arc in Pyre? If only I could. If only. Special mention must be given to the downside's most prolific native creatures, which we call the imps. With all respects to our comrade Haub, an imp himself, possessing of extraordinary intellect, most imps are driven by the simplest of impulses, to eat, to drink, to procreate, to move, and to survive. That sounds like most humans. These creatures, then, are symbols of this place. They are far more resilient than they seem. Though wild by their nature, they, like all of us, can learn. Haub insists that imps are willing to be put to work. Like other aspects of the downside, they wish more than to exist, but to exist with purpose. Why did you do another rune arc? I'm at 3 rune arcs now that I have to use when we get into Elden Ring again. I'm hoping I can finish Pyre today so that we can do Elden Ring tomorrow. That's my plan. Survival often is conflated with the physical. When we think of survival, we assume the need to sustain our bodies or improve our bodies. The strong survive. But, and take it from an alpha chief, there are different kinds of strength. The spirit is what drives us. By comparison, the body's impulses are weak. Here on the downside, faith is found in limited supply. Trinkets and mere baubles that would barely fetch a price in our homeland, here are talismans. Seek talismans that mean something to you. Hold on to one that you hold dear. It shall reward you with reminders of your faith, your power, and your potential. I can finish Hey, I've finished lots of games. Thank you very much. It's just slowed down a bit with Elden Ring. I'm gonna give her the new talisman I just got. Yeah. You take that, Pamitha. Should we give him his special one? His blink ability? Sure. And then... Okay. Okay, I think it's good. Oh. Wait. Gotta give him some dust. There you go, buddy. What should we give Faye instead? Chance to recover stamina. Recovering your stamina after you pick up the orb. Oh, the recovery one. I like the recovery one. That one's good. Okie dokie. Onward. Commence the rites. Pamitha finds you as everyone's preparing for the coming rite against the Essence. Despite this meeting and another confrontation with her blood sister, she seems very calm. I know what you're thinking, reader darling, so let me assuage any misgivings you might have. It'll be strictly business between me and Tamitha this time. Believe me, I know there's nothing I can do for her. I am nothing to her, but I still can be of use to all of you. I got Tamitha in here as I was tired of our kind throwing ourselves against Commonwealth lances. Maybe this plan of ours might finally ensure an end to all of that. She flies off to join the others just as night begins to fall and usher in the stars. Look at all the little constellations. How nice.
The infamous Reader returns.
Infamous.
Along with her remaining retinue of miscreants. You managed recently to rid yourself of yet another one. Your adversaries, the Essence. As with you, they must be very desperate for their freedom.
I want to beat up this Brighton
They
guy.
shall not make it any easier from here.
Oh no, it's the hockey puck level. Heck. Once more does this Commonwealth filth darken an already inauspicious night. Pamitha remains steady alongside your fellow exiles, and shows no response to being in the presence of her blood sister once again. Don't worry guys, this is fine. It's fine. Tamitha looks right at her the entire time she speaks, but never once acknowledges her directly. But there's no more need for any talk between our kind. We're forever at cross purposes. No further proof is needed than these circumstances under which we meet. Pamitha does not acknowledge her. You sense only that she's focused on the rite, set to commence at any moment now. Birds. Birds everywhere. Oh.
Faye!
Trastia?
Volfred.
And... Bertrude.
Bertrude. Fine.
We await the ancient rite's commencement. Come forth, you Commonwealth scum. Sisters, show them no quarter. They don't use quarters in here, they use the soul.
Tamitha caught out.
Ouchie.
Be gone.
Oh heck. Dang.
Your Pyre is the first of all.
Darn birds.
You left yourselves wide open. Why, that was all of them.
Good job, Faye.
Exactly by the book. Tamitha banished. Alas.
I hate the birds. Flying in this game is just too good.
That's it.
It's just too good. They just fly right over you.
Shame.
I feel like it's so slow swapping between the characters. Perhaps all this is but a far-fetched plan of yours to lull us into a false sense of confidence.
Splendid. Faye did it.
Of course Faye did it. I never doubted her. Damn, Bertrude.
The orb quenches the flame.
Heckity heck heck.
And my wolf pack,
Oh!
it grew
Hey,
by one.
Seth! Thank you for the resub. Thank you. I will.
How karma goes.
Nice!
Scribes.
We're almost there.
The Nightwing's pyre burns brighter for now. Good.
Go, Faye, go! No. Oh
A
dear, oh dear,
shameful
oh
outcome.
dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Come on, Faye, come on. No, I need to
From
jump.
burning flame to ash.
I only have one more hit
A
left.
show of strength from the Nightwing's opponents. Oh.
Yay! Oh.
Magnificent.
This is
Now
so
go
close.
on just once more. There goes old Bertrude.
Oh, jeez Louise. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No! Dang! I still have health. Oh, because I healed a little bit.
This is the road
So Faye's talisman.
ruin. Thoroughly banished.
Yes!
And it is done.
Yes, it is done!
The Nightwings prevail.
Yes!
Perhaps a stroke of fortune ought be thanked. Thus end this night's proceedings.
We've been vanquished for the while, but our sisters on the other side shall crush the Commonwealth, with or without our aid.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes.
Oh,
I
he
knew
just dinged.
someday that even Wolfred there would see.
Long
the
did I
light.
bide my time in anticipation that one day the Nightwings would reform under a common cause. To be a part of it myself, it nourishes the spirit. Nice. Yay, Bertrude!
The exiled Bertrude
This land,
is
so rife with
committed
eldritch
to the
knowledge,
path.
long forbidden in the Commonwealth, we learn the stuff of fear itself. Nice, nice, nice.
I eagerly await our next such outing.
Back at the Black Wagon, you find the lone minstrel examining your fellow exiles after they bested the essence despite their best attempts to stop you. It's plain to you that none of them look well. The lone minstrel notices you there and turns to you. Reader, the faster turning of the cycle of the righteous put a strain on everyone. We have multiple cases of banishment sickness this time. It's fortunate that your other companions are available to conduct the coming rite, because I fear this group here requires rest. You bid Faye a swift recovery, and she nods weakly in response. You exchange a look with Bertrude, who seems exhausted after the last rite. As for Wolfred, it's clear to you that he wishes to be left alone right now. You leave the lone minstrel to look after them, and turn your attention to the stars that remain shining in the dark outside. The stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. Who should we fight? I have Pamitha and Gilman. Who's my third one? We got the witches, and we got Sir Deluge. I feel like going against the witches might be good, because we managed to nerf Oud Mild a little bit. So it could be good. Alright, so what do we got? The doggies. Tree Man. Oh, they're the worst. Fish Man. Let's go against Fish Man. It'll be fish versus fish. The stars revealed to you a path towards the Isle of Calmare, where the rite soon shall continue. Come morning, your travel shall continue. For now, everyone needs rest. Tree Fitty Man. Something like that. I already read that page. I thought I had new stuff to read, but I guess not. Onward! Who did I ram into? Chastity. Aha! Oh. Get. Why can't I hit you? Why is that one so evasive? Got him! I bet if I was playing on Steam there'd be an award, or rather an achievement, for running into the imps. But I'm playing with the itch.io version. Because this game was actually in a bunch of those bundles. I think it was the Racial Justice bundle. Got him. Nothing to read. Okay, Pamitha or Falcon Ron with a special offer, but I don't have money. Nothing in here. Instill fear in the Pyre hearts. You do your best to keep up with Pamitha as she delves into the steady currents of Sharpshoal. She indicates that some of her winged sisters may be nearby to lend their aid. This is as far as you can follow, reader darling. Please excuse me for a little while. Yeah, cryptids don't need money, we just need meat. She swoops off, leaving you on your own. Some time passes, during which you can almost feel the downside encroaching all around you, and then... Well, that was certainly interesting. I suggest we get out of here. It would appear the Pyre hearts soon will have a little accident that should dampen their spirits. Cool, good job, Pamitha. Pamitha's staring out the window as you approach. I miss flying, reader darling. Take it from me. It feels as good as you'd expect. It's not enough for these Commonwealth brutes to cast us down here. If they can get their fingers on us, they make sure we never fly again as once we did. Oh hey, Weedy, thank you for the glubs. How are you doing today, Weedy? All about calling it an act of mercy. Let me ask you something, You've learned a thing or two. What have your studies taught you of my kind? I know that we share a common ancestor. It be good, Weedy, it be good. And yeah, today's all about the appreciation. How about you? You understand that long ago there was only one tribe. They flew together and conquered the known world, but some of their descendants were born different. These wingless ones had little choice but tend the land, with their hands of flesh. Over time, the wingless were disavowed, abandoned. It was said that they were born under dark stars. In time, they formed the Empire, and they fought back. Not all the winged and wingless were at odds, and famous hearts such as Saint Triesta Tithis proved kinship to be possible. Nonetheless, old hatreds are not so easily assuaged. This is a fairly accurate to our account of things. So in a manner, you yourself are a sister to me. My kind certainly aren't known for their good sense of humor, I can tell you that. My little tongue got me into no small amount of difficulty till I learned to keep it well under control. The mountain I come from, the views there are certainly something, but there's a bleakness to it too, being surrounded only by those consumed by the desire to avenge. We're very proud like that. Everybody vying to be the strongest, to kill the most of you. That way we might just get a shot with the prince. Continue the line, if he even exists. Imagine that being the best case scenario, darling. She shakes her head. Anyway, I was just thinking I'd rather enjoy the traveling we've done. The change of scenery does me some good. Perhaps I'll stick to wandering after all this. In fact, I have a fancy for some wandering right now, if you'll excuse me. She heads out of the wagon into the steady currents of deathless tempest. Let's fight.
You are nothing, reader. Nothing but a mindless simpleton. Your every action is a stain upon the legacy of the 8 scribes.
This man's very rude.
The rites have been a long-held secret to keep out those such as you.
You wake from what little sleep you managed this past night. Once more the voice tormented you within your dreams. You attempt to rid your memory of it. If the voice truly is that of Archjustice Andropolis the Ninth himself, as Wilfred indicated, then none of you are likely to receive too warm a welcome, should you regain your freedom. A messenger imp with news and rumors from the other side manages to track down your wagon, in the eerie stillness of deathless tempest. The imp's latest information is about none other than Tizo, who you liberated at the fall of Solium. Everybody says he's the first creature of his kind to come to the Commonwealth. While this unique status brought Tizo no shortage of prestige, he nonetheless experienced difficulty acclimating to the new environment. It seems that he grew quite despondent. Then at last he managed to track down Volfred's agents, with whom he's working to find a means to bring more exiles home. Thus has the revolution grown stronger. He also left for you a special verbal message via his most trusted messenger, who rears up and intones, "Scream!" Tizo wants you to know that he's doing well but misses you, and hopes to see you again soon. You thank the messenger imp for the report, and ask that it relay your kind regards. Your companions soon begin to talk in turn. Oft is it said that good things come in smallish packages, and Tizo stood as living proof, and living he remains apparently. You did it, little one. You'd scarce believe how long our Tizo toiled here in service of the Nightwings. He deserves his peace more than us all. Very, very bright, that one. Would have served well as our familiar. Perhaps someday yet it shall be so. I guess this makes him an expatriate of sorts. Is that how you say that? Patriot? Patriate? Ditching his downside home in favor of the Commonwealth. Who would have thought? I'm so happy for him. I wish I could have had a friend like him when I was there. I shall look forward to our next reunion, Tizo, perhaps when we're back among the stars. The news of Tizo's adventures in the Commonwealth fill you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Let's do this! I'm gonna beat up some fish. Ferocious roar. Oh, hey guys, what brings you here again? Let me guess. The finest deals and all the downside, that's what, am I right? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okie dokie. You guys really are my favorite customers, you know? I think we're his only customer. You stand before the bizarre outcroppings of the Isle of Kelmere. The sky darkens, and in the distance you hear the sound of gibbering creatures growing louder. The sound of it is unnerving enough that your fellow exiles remain quiet, their eyes affixed to the stars above. Soon, something in the sky above begins to stir.
Rita, I am still very cross with you, you know.
Yeah.
To think I saw in you a worthy heir. Not
I don't want to
just to
become
the legacy
emperor.
of the Night Wings, but to the future of the Commonwealth. That traitor Volfred. Only a fool would be seduced by his audacious promises and his dangerous ideas. That, dear reader, would make you a fool.
Yep,
I
that's
have
me.
no choice but to explain it thus, so even you could understand. Now for this blasted rite. Some of us still have our duties to uphold.
You, again, you come to torment us. You almost got our hopes up last time, but not this time. The Pyre hearts, let us show them what the Nightwings can do.
Choose now your band of traitors.
I don't really have much of a choice, do I? Oh, so he's not sick.
Volfred.
Interesting.
With that out of the way,
Prepare yourself, everyone. Well, we are not afraid of you, especially not this night. Worm Knights attack!
commence. The Night Wings Pyre is the first to falter. A stroke of luck is all.
Zoom!
With grace,
Good job, Pamitha.
your pyre burns brighter for a while. Your
Douse the pyre without banishing. Oh, so like when all three are
seem to be
alive?
falling behind. Their pyre sputters. The Night Wings shall prevail at this rate. How very fortunate.
Dang.
Alas. Your pyre shall soon be ashes on the ground. The Worm Knight somehow did it.
They're very
The
fast.
Night Wings now are closer to achieving victory. Quite the turn of
Oopsie.
events.
Sometimes even when I don't want to banish them, I end up doing it.
Their flame has died a little. Now end the ceremony. And it is done.
It is done.
The you-know-who prevailed. A perfectly agreeable performance overall.
But you know who. You won't even say her
The
name.
rite is ended.
And now then, if you're quite finished making sport of us, then we shall slither away in humiliating disgrace. So, thanks.
There There is much to learn from this experience.
Pamitha? She's so close to Max.
Now go and wallow in the downside for a while.
Yep, this is fine. There proves little time for rest of the Black Wagon after your fellow exiles overcame the Pyre Hearts in a pitched battle. Those afflicted with banishment sickness seem to be doing better, at least, and express gratitude to Sir Gilman, Pamitha, and Wolfred for their efforts. Just then the lone minstrel appears before you. No word escapes his lip. You can guess full well what he's come to indicate to you, and follow him back out into the darkness. The stars above seem to be few and fading, and yet one still shines defiant. It's time already? Who do we send home? You notice that the lone minstrel is standing there with you regarding the night sky. The gate guardian and I, we've paid witness to the liberation rites upon the fall of Solium for a long time. We have seen so much. And so, I'm a bit taken aback is all, to see something which I have never seen. We look upon the stars together for a while, and then... I wish for you good fortune, and the wisdom of the scribes on your ascent. The lone minstrel leaves you there alone under the night. It's grown very late, and you need rest. The Black Wagon shall have to take flight again come morning. I'm just gonna look around real quick. Just real quick, guys, don't worry. Just a quick little zoom. I don't understand how they tell where to put the little snippets of info. So I'm afraid I'll miss one. Nothing yet, though. There's one. Something appears different now about the sacred mountain west of here. The lands near Emperor's Ascent and Emperor's Fall appear ashen. On the other hand, the once precarious regions below, which you know as Temple High Road and Temple Cistern, seem swept clean by the elements. The lone minstrel observes all this alongside you. Inclement weather we've lately seen, reader madam. We ought to be able to make a landing closer to Scribe's Gate now. And I suppose this means we soon shall see Celeste once more. Then I shall go tell everyone to prepare for landing. Pamitha... Wolfred. Tough call. You arrive once more among the sheer cliffs of Mount Elodio. Wait, Elodio? I don't remember how any of these words are pronounced. It appears that Udmailed and the Withdrawn have already arrived along the other route. Nobody wants to talk to me here. With some time to spare after having landed, you join Wolfred on a brief expedition to the monument of Molten Myleith. The book says almost nothing of the present circumstances. I wish that I had clear guidance as to how we should proceed, O scribes. Although perhaps this is the nature of the path. It isn't to be read and understood, it is to be embraced, with all of one's heart and mind. What other choice is there? You return to the wagon once he's finished paying his respects. You have occasion once more to pursue your vocations. level up Pamela so that she has another thing for the fight. It would be this one that she'd get. Let's enter Bertrude. Very well then, educate us if thou can. You and Bertrude spent some time reviewing some of the specific aspects of the rites, such as the properties of the aura. You sensed she gained something from it. We confess thine observations continue to be of intrigue. Again, you stand before Scribe's Gate, where the gate guardian regards you all above an archway carved from stone. The exiles of the Nightwings, you must know by now that once the stars no longer shine, the rite shall cease. For now, step forth. Except for you, Tarek, you stay right there. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and as for me, you shall not blaspheme under the gate again. Do we understand each other, Tarek? Aye, Celeste. I apologize for my behavior before. I shall adhere more strictly to my duties. Be sure of it. Now each of you come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek while crossing the Scribe's Gate. One by one, your companions cross the gate until it's time to do so, and you follow them in turn. The gate guardian regards you all and then waves you through towards the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Am I free to accompany them, Celeste, or shall I remain here? She looks at him a while. You are free to accompany them, Tarek. As you will, Celeste, until we meet upon the summit then. Nobody wants to talk to me in the wagon anymore. What the heck? Oh, it's you guys. Well, come on in. I guess you got here right on time because I was just thinking maybe I'll close a little early here, you know? Business has been real good and everything. It's been a little slow in spots, a little slow as all. So I was thinking maybe I should do a sale? What would you say to that? Go for it. You suggest to Falcon Realm that a sale might be a good idea to liven things up again. Huh. Well, I guess maybe that's a way to look at things, and so then, I'm gonna think about it, stew on it a while, but no promises, okay? So are you buying something here or what? What's that? You can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. That's pretty cool. Still can't afford it. Let's see. I'm gonna give it to him, actually. Okay. You guys take care, okay? And thanks for doing business. Once more, the time has come for the liberation rite, where one among you can go free if you prevail. Freedom is likewise at stake for your adversaries, the withdrawn. As your companions gather under the fall awaiting the commencement of this vital rite, the lone minstrel finds you and regards you in his calm fashion. Night is falling. These moments prior to each commencement, I must admit they give me pause, knowing so much is at stake during the trial that is to come. Tell me something, would you, reader, to ease the waiting for us both. I've traveled far and wide, even beyond these lands. However, the Commonwealth I know only through word and song. I sometimes think on what life would be like out there. If you were not ensnared within this place and free to roam your country, what would you have done with all your days and years rather than striving here under the stars? Tended the land, sailed across the seas, retired to the outskirts, fought for freedom. I would retire to the outskirts. You long to find some solitude out there, though of a different sort than all the solitude available in such abundance in the downside here. You would have lived out your days in peace beyond the bustle of the Commonwealth, and in a manner closer to the olden times. Peace be with you then, reader, wherever it is that your travel shall take you in this life or the next. Just then the lone minstrel looks forth and you see that it's time. The stars above, though faint, begin to burn. Time to get yelled at by the voice.
The stars that yet remain aflame align once more over the sacred fall of Sirium. 'Twas here that the 8 scribes ordained the glorious tradition in which you now participate. The glorious tradition which you and that instigator Wolfred seek to undermine. 'Tis my sincerest hope your adversaries in this liberation rite achieve instead what they desire.
The evil warlock
May the
snakes?
withdrawn quickly put out your pyre.
You want them to achieve what they desire?
Let us get on with the proceedings then.
The anointed one of the withdrawn, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. The bog dweller Udmild appears from the shadows and reaches for her mask. Chris. We are known as the Witch Udmild, our adversaries. They are nothing to us or the one we serve. Ye shall be devoured in the coming age, an age of strife, wrought down by the fell wings of the menacing eyes of Yalch, the Astral-born. But we told you he's dead. You speak blasphemy upon the sacred site, Udmild. If you value liberty, then I suggest you cease your mocking of the scribes. The scribes. They failed to stop Yalch, and he shall rise again. As for you Nightwings, you are of no consequence in Yalch's grand design. She dons her mask once more. Soon we shall return unto the land which Yalch shall usurp, but we shall offer him our blood, and that of many, many others. You eat bread for dinner? I mean, you usually eat bread as a side with dinner here too sometimes, depending on the meal. You know, it's pretty common to have rolls. Nightwings, on whose behalf shall you conduct this liberation rite? Choose quickly. May you heed your heart in making your choice, reader. I trust you're prepared to play the hymns with me, Herrick. Always, Celeste.
Whom do you endeavor to return?
Who do we free? Why are they still unworthy? I don't understand. I think I'm gonna send Faye. She's just so precious.
Faye!
Oh, you mean me that I get to go home? But the 8 scribes, what if they still want me to stay?
Who shall lend her support?
Panther. This one's more for you than reader, darling, and I suppose for her.
Bertrude.
We shall lend our support to that one then.
If that is all, then...
Soon, Yalch, very soon. We shall release thee. We shall release thee. And as for ye Nightwings, we have much in store for ye.
Commence!
Good job, Gertrude. Sassy got Gertrude. Oopsie daisy. Good job, Hamatha. That a girl. Oh, not as a side dish. Gotcha. Dang. They got me. Oh yes, I love bread bowls with soup. That's the best. Yalish, we invoke thee, for we seek thy ancient strength. Befoul our enemies within thy blood. Damnation to the Nightwings! Damnation to the scribes! The invocation of Yalish. Your adversary which Emil's curse shall summon forth dark pools of banishing ichor, wheresoever any exile is banished here this night. Oh, that was so close. Dang.
You left yourselves wide open. They plunged into the
Okie
fire.
dokie. Let's go do some
The
zoomies.
night is nearly ended. The orb is up.
Dang. Dang, dang, dang. She gets stuck on me. Ooh, full party wipe.
So
sad, so sad.
At last, the Nightwings proved their worth. Rather convincingly, I must admit.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the
I'm basically a
scribes
pro
have
basketball
chosen
player now.
The
I'm a regular
exile
Michael
appointed
Jordan.
by the Nightwings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain
Cryptid ballin', yeah.
to carry out their rightful sentences. They were
Know that this affront against Yauch has been recorded, and his vengeance shall darken the skies. I can go home. I think this means I can go home. She shuts her eyes. By the scribes, by the scribes. But what will happen now to you, to all of you? Can you not come with me? No, they say not yet. The scribes, they say not yet. Although, I think your time will come. Your time will come. And I will wait for you because I don't have friends back home. At least I didn't used to, so I want you to come join me there, okay? But now the scribes are calling me, and so, goodbye. She falls into the shimmer pool, and then she's gone. Goodbye, and please, oh scribes, watch over them, okay?
Godspeed, moon-touched one. Perhaps the scribes are watching, even now. Watching as their glorious tradition draws to a close.
Woohoo! Panther maxed out. I used to soar above the mountains with the Highwing remnants, and we would see the Commonwealth shine down the horizon. It enraged us, the mere sight of it. I can fly free no longer, yet that anger, I don't feel it anymore. I never do the saluting. There you go, Bertrude.
Now take your execrable companions
Execrable.
someplace else.
I've never heard that word, execrable. I'm gonna Google it. Execrable. Extremely bad or unpleasant. Oh. I must start calling people that. You prevailed in the liberation against the withdrawn. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Faye, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. She's gone, just as I was keen to like her. We shall make do without her here. You wonder who, if anyone, among you shall be the next to go. Our plan approaches a key turning point. Let us ensure it soon comes to fruition, not only for ourselves here, but for our companions and our loved ones in the Commonwealth. But we have little time now for reflection into this. Look yonder, reader, the stars demand we go already. Let us help them usher in the end of all of this. We turn your attention to the glimmer of the stars. Their current rate of disappearance suggests another liberation rite shall be coming very soon. Let's look at the planner. So up next is going to be fighting the dogs or fighting the bird people. I'd rather fight the dogs than the bird people, I think. So... I'll fight the accusers again. Now the stars bid you return to the cairn of Haub, where you'll stand against the accusers once again. Your adversary, Lendel the Liar, likely knows the cycle of the rites is drawing to a close. His last remaining chance to earn the favor of the scribes and regain his freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the rites is soon to end. The exiles of the downside striving to be free. Your adversaries, your companions, even you yourself are running out of time. Following Faye's liberation, the lone minstrel has returned to the wagon and stands as though nothing has happened here this night. He tilts his head a bit as you approach. Once more the Nightwings have prevailed in the liberation rite under your mindfulness, reader. A commendable achievement. Surely Faye shall live out her days in gratitude to you and your companions. Perhaps she may now seek Jodariel there in the Commonwealth. I should think Jodariel would have liked to witness what took place this night. Spiky! No rune arcs, it's not Elden Ring! How do I teach these viewers to read? How do I teach these kids? I trust that together they shall make a formidable difference to the plan which all of you endeavor to achieve. Now, for the time, Celeste and I are to return to our respective stations. We all await the next turn of the cycle of the rites. May you prevail once more when next we traverse the Scribe's Gate. Until then, Raider, rest well under the stars. What is reading right? Am I right? Spiky, how are you feeling today? He nods and leaves you to recover after a long night. Oh, thank you for the glub glub, Weedy, thank you. This book cannot accompany you if you should earn your freedom. It is to remain here for your successors, for it is bound together inextricably with us. There is no sorcery, however, to prohibit you from spreading forth its teachings. We charge you to go forth and share what you've learned along your path. Reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Transcend its bounded limitations, for it cannot be transcribed. Any such attempt shall fail. Beware of those who would dare to read it on the other side. Under their guise of seeking wisdom, may yet lurk a much darker desire to undo that which we strive to do. You're not very sick, but you're not going to tell work that? That's fine. If you're sick at all, you should stay home. At dawn, your companions are prepared to depart. Everyone is silent. Your travels are to take you back to the cairn of help, but soon after the stars shall draw you here again. So what are you gonna do today, Spiky, if you're staying home? You got any fun plans? Are you splatooning? Are you splatting? Or are you getting splat? I'm actually gonna buy Splatoon tonight, I think. Rah, rah. Rah, rah. Teammate is forcing you to do chores? Heck. Yeah, honestly, I should have pre-ordered Splatoon, but I just kept forgetting to do it. Wait, you don't have it? I thought you did. Why do you keep ordering Inkling art if you don't have Splatoon? I don't understand, Spiky. I don't understand. Oh, you're hoping for a sale. Oh, yeah, that could happen. It's not that far off. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Just the first one, gotcha. I played the first and second. Tamitha? Let's hang out with Tamitha. Let's get some character development for Tamitha. Nothing here. Your senses guide you to a scrying pool somewhere on the dry flats of lick sand. Don't lick the sand. And you look upon the waters. Soon you experience a vision of Tamitha, who stood against Dalbert and the Fate in her most recent rite. We share a common enemy, you realize, Dalbert, so you have done us all service through your failure here this night. This was not to be our night, however, Tamitha, we salute your victory, and wish you onward toward your chance at freedom. I almost pity you. Ever does your commonwealth train you to despise my kind. The vision fades. It seems the essence prevailed against the Fate some time not long ago, gaining the favor of the scribes. You wonder where their paths have taken them since as you return to the Black Wagon to pursue your vocations. Here you go, Bertrude. Let us then discuss these matters which you believe should be of benefit. Goo, don't lick the sand! Bertrude gains a somewhat stronger grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through strength of will and trust, and once triumphant, than through dexterity alone. She nods in understanding. It appears to us that thou knowest something of the stars then, after all. I feel like if you were to play this sports ball game in real life, it'd be so difficult, because only one team member can move at a time. It'd be like red light, green light, but more intense. What we got over here, huh? Hey guys, say whatever happened to that Faye you brought in here sometimes? You know, the loopy fruit one, frizzy hair, always handling all the merchandise? I departure. Dust. Lots and lots of dust. Bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna hold on to my money. Come see us again, guys. Commence the rite. By now, having to make preparations for the rites has become second nature to your companions. They go about the process efficiently, and this time, in almost total silence. You cannot shake the sense that the routine shall not go on much longer. Panther approaches and confirms to you that the Nightwing sigil is set. Everyone has their books and raiments, and the grounds are ready. Everything should be in order. I hope you're ready for this, reader darling. Not just this rite, I mean, but whatever's in store after that. Though maybe none of us are. None among us, not the accusers. If all of this really is some test, we're being tested now. You and Pamela stand together in silence for a time, looking for the stars above to show some indication that the rite is to commence. It's taking too long. Concern begins to well up in you, but then... You know, we still have to deal with Oralek. I wonder how he's going to tie into this. Maybe he'll be our final opponent at Scribe's Gate. Ferocious roar.
It seems the stars once more have mustered wherewithal to usher in the rites. The sky grows dimmer by the day. An age is ending. Surely you must know by now that you shall never all be free.
I'll free us.
Yet still you struggle to fulfill some senseless plan. But I digress, of course. Some of us still honor the tradition.
Oh no, hockey puck
Some
field
of us
again.
hold dear the teachings of the scribes.
The pyres on each side are burning bright. From across the field, you observe the leader of the accusers approach and remove his mask. Nightwings, you have been a thorn in my side since the first. I may never yet regain my freedom, but perhaps I still can ensure that you never regain yours. That's petty.
Who shall besmirch the Nightwing's name?
Let's send my girl.
Kanatha. Volfred.
Got us.
Bertrude. Very well.
Our adversaries of the accusers. If this is to be our final confrontation against them, then let us show them our true power here and now. Prepare yourselves, accusers. Whatever should transpire, let us bloody now the noses of these accursed Nightwings.
Now begin. Gracious.
Oh, sorry, Pamela. Walking into people. Hey! Ouch! Aha! Oh, no, 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 no!
The
Dang!
path to glory eludes us all at times. Such zeal. All of the accusers
Oh dear!
gone.
Oh my!
Absolution.
You have so much health. Ugh. I'll use the hockey puck as a shield.
Stand not in glory's path.
Just walk right on over. Hey! Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Back off. Ah! Wait. Oh, nice. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. No! 3, 2. Hockey puck, save me!
Banishment. So it is.
There's my girl.
Such fervor.
Yay!
Gertrude's faster than she looks.
Only when she slithers.
It seems the Nightwings are a bit ahead. Tis taken.
Panther! Curse you, you cheating Nightwings! Get your head back into this, damn you, you miserable disgrace. Are you superior to them, or are you not? You do not deserve the second chance. Come, accusers! If we must face defeat again, then let us make it glorious indeed. With me, their pyre be damned!
Yes.
Oopsie daisy. Don't like this.
Too bad for that one.
Thanks. Gertrude! Slither. Oh, the hockey pucks! The hockey pucks!
Now you
Oh.
Thoroughly banished.
No!
The orb has left your clutches.
I just slid right into it. Curse these slippery ice floors. Worst video game mechanic. Damn.
Lendl plunged into your pyre.
Well, luckily I'd recovered a lot of health.
Banished, one and all. 'Twas a crushing blow against their pyre.
Just one more, just one more.
No more than a lick of flame remains.
Oopsie
What
daisy.
happened there? The orb.
Yikes.
All of the Nightwings banished.
Come on, Pamitha. Ah! There we go! Yes!
Fine, yes, the Nightwings did prevail.
We sure did!
Accomplished effortlessly, I might
Effortlessly! That's me.
add. The ceremony is complete.
I guess that's that, the accusers. They won't have much of a chance of getting out of here anymore, will they? Well done, Nightwings. As for the accusers, they fought us fiercely many times. I doubt that it shall be enough. May they find mercy in this land. Ye accusers, ye conducted here with such fury and such desperation, that we must commend ye for it, despite the outcome, which hath favored us. Nightwings, this is finished between us. I have a simple hope which yet remains, and is this. I hope that we shall never meet again. Hey, Mooney! Hello, hello!
Knights do tend to teach
Good afternoon.
something of trust. To Gertrude are the ways of the eight
Long have we sought to fathom all the darkest secrets hidden by the light of the stars. Now at last the stars themselves revoke their station in the night, and we have finally achieved an inkling of this.
Praise be to molten Melith until the next rite. If there even is to be another one.
Now who do we free? I'd like to free Volfred, because I feel like this is his plan, so he'd probably do the best over there. Inside the wagon, after besting the accusers, Wolford is discussing aspects of the outcome with the others when the lone minstrel seeks you out. Pardon the interruption, reader, though I need to ask a moment of your time while the night is clear enough for you to see. Please come have a look outside. Perhaps the news of your next destination may further stir the hearts of your companions. Among what stars yet remain shining in the night, one of them now burns as bright as you've ever seen. Whoosh. Oh, Goo! You probably haven't watched the Nintendo Direct, did you? Because you were doing karaoke this morning. The cycle turns even more quickly now, until such time as it shall shudder to a halt. He makes a sound then, almost like a laugh. I forget myself, reader, I should not say such things. The scribes, they would say that one ought to focus on the path in front of her. Oh, you did see it? Okay, cool. There's some good stuff in there. When we set forth to walk a long and labored path, it can be all too much. If we stand back and look upon it as a whole, we may well decide to turn around. But if we begin to walk while casting down our gaze, and whilst resisting the urge to look too far ahead, we may make steady, careful progress. Soon enough we may arrive where we endeavored. The lone minstrel bids you a good evening. You had best retire for the night, for when first daylight comes, it shall be time again to take to the skies. Yeah, tons of life sim and farming sim. Let's just do one last little look around. Yeah, I think Oralek is definitely going to hijack this last right. We're going to have to fight him. Oh, thank you for the pets, thank you. I can't get it. This is karma. Your wagon reels from the impact of some sort of massive object slamming into it mid-flight. False night wings. Oralek calls down to you, all of you, from atop his wagon. Again you seek to climb that cursed mountain beneath us. Again you seek to take my rightful place. I should send you crashing down to it that you might fall as I have. He stares down at all of you. Oh, shapeshift. But I shall not. Rather, we shall meet upon the summit, ere the last cycle of the rites is ended. Until then. Okay, that's what I thought. Pamitha? Bertrude. Gotta go with my girl. Oh, thank you for the glub goo, thank you. You make a landing on the sacred Mount Elodil after your encounter with Oralek. Oralek spoke the truth. He has a right to gain the summit. When the time comes, Celeste shall deem him worthy and shall let him pass. While he has transgressed against the rites, he has also already been anointed and prevailed. Nothing is written in the book on this, and liberty ought already be his. For the time, it seems that he has not yet traveled to the summit. Perhaps he is still making preparations with his fellow exiles. When exactly Oralek intends to make good on his promise, he did not make clear. For now, you're to confront Barker and the dissidents upon the summit. But first, you may prepare. I kinda wanna just let Oralek win. He was supposed to be free already. Later that afternoon, you accompany Pamitha through the splendors of Temple High Road to the monument of Luz Sklorian. What'll you do when all this is over, Pamitha? You going to run away? Let's face it, you're probably not getting out of here. So then you can either go live out your days under some rock somewhere, or maybe these who you call their friend, maybe they mean it. You return to the wagon after she's finished paying her respects. The summit awaits, but first, there's time to continue practicing your vocations. should be interested to see which lessons you've taken from the book. It was enough! Cool. It's possible that our plan shall not succeed despite our fiercest efforts here and in the Commonwealth, but I know for certain that our efforts shall not be in vain. We learn and strive together, we prevail or we fail together. On this path we share. It has been and shall continue to be my greatest honor. I feel like that's kind of cool. I always try to bear in mind that together our auras grow even stronger. It's time. A messenger imp with news and rumors from the other side somehow tracks you down in the quiet solitude of Mount Elodiel. The imp's message pertains to Faye, who you liberated at the fall of Solium, and whose past transgressions have all been forgiven since her return to the Commonwealth. You learn that she was taken in by a well-to-do foster family, and was to be given private schooling of the highest order in the Astralist tradition. They promised her that in time she might one day have the honor of teaching the children of the Commonwealth herself. However, she soon went her own way, insisting that the 8 scribes themselves were calling her. She started wandering again all on her own. That is until she located Volfred's agents. Thus her wandering ceased, and the ranks of the revolution grow stronger. Faye also left a simple message: believe in the scribes. You thank the messenger imp for the report, as your companions gather to discuss. Small in stature was the goodly Faye, yet great indeed in spirit. Even now this knight remains in awe of her. That one, very powerful indeed, a sorceress of sorts, a certain air about her most intriguing. Hey Azumi! Good afternoon! She has the manner of a saint, that one. She knows in her heart the traditions of the scribes. She better be more careful, else they'll throw her right back in here with the rest of us. The news of Faye's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. How are you doing today? You return once more to Scribe's Gate, where the Gate Guardian awaits under a dim sky. The exiles of the Nightwings and you, Tarek. This is to be one of our final meetings. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and afterwards, I would have words with you in private, if you please. It seems to me rather late for words now, Tarek, but I shall hear them once your charges cross the gate. Now all of you come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing the Scribe's Gate. Once more your companions cross the gate, one after another, and once more you follow them in turn. Celeste regards you all, then waves you through, towards the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. And Tarek. Aye, Celeste? You may rejoin the others in a while. For now, I would hear those words of yours. Certainly, Celeste. Everyone, I shall see you shortly. Oh, they're having a jam session. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Azumi. I'm having a good day. How about you? Oh, hey, guys, it's gotten real cold up here, but it's worth it. Let me tell you, got a lot of customers been stopping by. Okay, I may have been exaggerating just a little, since I have been waiting here a little while, I guess. But are you buying anything? Oh, nothing fancy, huh? And the canyons open wide, singing songs of gentle mourning for his lost and lonesome bride. For his lost and lonesome bride. I'm gonna take all the serums. serums for everyone! Club, 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 club. Club, 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 club. Club, 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 club. Club, 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 club. Club, 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 club. Club, 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 club. Aren't I missing one? Oh no. Ah, here we go. Oh, I can't afford it. Now I can. Yay! Yes, you can take that. I'll give you this one. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
Great, eh?
Thanks, guys. Good luck in that thing you're going to tonight. Let's go! The time has come again to deliver one of your fellow exiles to a homecoming in the Commonwealth, lest your adversaries, the dissidents, achieve the same instead. The lone minstrel has returned and approaches you as you await the signal from the stars. There is something that I wish to ask you, reader, something which ordinarily would not be my place to discuss in any detail. You've observed the stars. If you would not mind my asking you in such a direct manner, how many liberation rites are you supposing yet remain? Is this the very last? You guess that perhaps this is to be the very last liberation rite, given that the stars have continued fading and all, but the lone minstrel only shakes his head. Nay, reader, madame, more than one remains, provided that you also count this liberation rite commencing any moment. I wish to make certain that you are aware, so that you and the Nightwings may yet make the most of your remaining time together thus. As to what shall happen once the final liberation rite is ended, we soon shall both find out. But lo, it seems that we are called upon once more. Look forth. You guys said it's the final battle, but he says I have more. Thank you, Edie. Thank you. It's Morbin time? I suppose it's time to morb.
Reader, I would ask that you think back for just a moment, if you please. When you first looked upon the Book of Rites, think back upon the words that it revealed. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Oblige the voice.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna come up here, and Orlac
more.
is just gonna kick the dog man
Would that
off.
the scribes were here among us
This
still.
is
I
Scribes
will not sing your
Gay!
praises to them, rest assured. I trust that you shall savor this occasion. You shan't have to oblige me for much longer.
The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the dissidents, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Barker bursts out of some hidden corner laughing as he pulls out his mask. A real pleasure to be here, mates, truly. Barker Ashpaws. Call me Barker, though, alright? By the by, it was a real pisser getting here, you know? Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws? You thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain? Oh my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot we got the stars above up there to make me watch my language. But let's get this one straight, lassie. I don't give a bother about your sacred mountain, so you take it and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're just here for the laughs, you got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babes that are so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? You better put up a good fight here or I ain't gonna be happy, understand? Barker he just likes fighting. Then he shoves his mask back on. Right, come on then. Let's hurry up and get this damn thing started. Nightwings, your choice. And whose name shall you conduct this liberation rite? I wish you the wisdom of the scribes in making your choice, reader. And I wish you to come prepare our song with me, Tarek.
Whom shall you attempt to send home this time?
I gotta send Wolfred. I think it makes sense.
Wolfred.
There's so much to be done, should I or any of us return. But let's focus on the here and now. We face a worthy adversary there in the dissidents.
Who shall be at his side? Tabitha.
The sooner we get out of this stuffy place, the better, if one were to ask me. Since I'm the reader, if the plan fails, I'm gonna be stuck here. So I want my girlfriend to be stuck here with me.
Bertrude.
Then we shall do what is within our power for that one. Alright then, mates. No more waiting, no more holding back. Let's rip them to shreds. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Commence!
Oof. Right, like it's not that bad if your girlfriend's with you. There's worse fates. Ouch. Ouch. Get him, tree, get him! Guys are so fast. Alright. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Don't pick it up, don't pick it up. They're too fast for me. Yikes. Nope. Dang. I mispit my thought. Slither, slither, slither. Slither, slither. No!
Twas almost cruel.
Neither side can get points.
Barker's on timeout. Simply abhorrent.
Abhorrent! Oh, I jinxed myself! Well, at least Pamela comes back.
An opportunity. blow.
That a girl.
The adversary's pyre.
What in the... Alright, mates, something's going right funny with that aura as I can tell. Better laugh it up while we can, eh? Indeed, something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. Excuse me? What does that
The
mean?
disgraceful Barker Ashpaws is a constant blight upon the sanctity of these proceedings. Ooh.
Rip.
Engulfed within the aura.
Yay!
To the scribes.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
I almost pity what transpired there. I'll take it.
I went so far away.
To each his own.
Where you going, dog? Oh, frick. Okay, bird time. Bird time. Not bird time. I wish the ball didn't fly so far. There we go. Should just be one more. Oh, that's the chaotic thing they were talking about. Oh, gotcha. So it always sends it back to my side of the map. Dang. Oh, no, 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 no. That's fine. We got the health for it. Where the frick is it going? There we go.
There it is. The blasted night.
What's the situation with Aura?
As for their adversaries, they did not.
Thank you.
Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen
Good luck of Alfred.
the exile appointed by the Night Wings shall be free. Absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their
I sure did, Mooney.
Sentences.
Give him the what for? What a joke. Hero was thinking we're gonna make him cry after all this. Come on, mates. I've already had it with a stuck-up place, so let's get out of here already, aye? I'm indebted to you all. Words fail me, but I shall try and enforce a few, as now I haven't long. The plan of which we're all a part, it cannot by its nature be dependent upon any given individual, and that includes myself. We each face doubt from time to time, and I became quite certain I would never see the Commonwealth again, the stars fading and all. That outcome would have been acceptable to me provided that our plan prevailed. My agents in the Commonwealth, and those of you who managed to return, united, you for certain can achieve much more than I or any one of us. Nevertheless, if I'm to be the next one to return, then I have my work cut out for me, I think. He falls silent for a moment, then. Nightwings, this has been the greatest honor of my time. I now take leave of you to do my very utmost to ensure the sacrifices you've made for me, our nation, all of us, that those sacrifices shall not be in vain. Then he reaches out to you alone.
Reader, until we stand again together.
A secret message. With that, Wilfred's sandalwood vanishes into the shimmer pool. He calls out from within as his return journey begins. Stand together, all of you, no matter what shall come. I shall see you on the other side. We may be separated soon by distance, but our purpose remains shared. Scribes guide you.
Godspeed, Wilfred Sandalwood.
His arms are so long.
The cycle of the rites is nearly at an end.
And hopefully the Emperor doesn't murder him. Now what? You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the dissidents in the liberation rite. That's one less mouth to feed. With that, we make good of all such incidents. You succeed in liberating Wilfred, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. Soon you shall be summoned back to Mount Elodiel for one final liberation rite, and thus one final chance to influence the outcome of your plan. So many events already in motion, but even as you wait for them to happen as they will, there still is something vital you can do. Now, reader, if you please, I fear the stars have little patience left. You turn back towards the darkness to look upon the last few stars, too stubborn to relinquish their light. I like hanging out with our demon friends. I feel like that's one way you can play the game. It's just targeting the other teams that you like the most, so you can get more dialogue with them. Once more, you are to face the Tempers. Then, although I wonder. He hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thoughts. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make way for the Ridge of Gold, when everyone is feeling more refreshed as much as possible. The lone minstrel has returned already to the wagon, after Wilfred's homecoming to the Commonwealth and the Liberation Rite. Your companions are most grateful to you, reader, but that Tizo could have been here with the rest of them to witness Wilfred's glorious return. I trust they shall soon reunite there in your Commonwealth, where they may yet contribute to the outcome of your plan, and thus create a place that welcomes all of you. May you and your companions continue to prevail thus. For now, Celeste and I are to return to our respective roles, until we meet again at Scribe's Gate. Rest well for now, reader. He bids you a good rest of the night. Reader, though you shall always bear a burden, is much lighter than the burden of a lonesome exile. Go forth and become free. Then join with others such as you, and lead with mercy, continuing to demonstrate your worth, and knowing that the Empire's fall formed the foundation of our Commonwealth. You shall cease to be a reader and become a voice both to the free and to your successors here, who shall take up this book when you no longer need it. The cycle of the right shall see to it that you and others like you shall be liberated, ere the coming of another age. May the stars shine ever brightly on us all. Sandra still doesn't want to hang out with me anymore. I was hoping maybe she changed her mind. Wilfred's planner. He is liberated. It is daybreak. You are to set forth now for the Ridge of Gold for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. Uh-oh, Goo is screaming. Is this place redder than usual? Must drive into other wagons. Gilman may gain a deeper understanding. Gertrude. I still don't know Gilman's backstory. I think I missed it on accident. Having reached the blooming pool, you decide to accompany Sir Gilman for a walk among the windswept fields. Your conversation soon turns to matters of the rites, which you discuss at length. If what you say is true, Master Reader, then this knight truly has much more to understand. By the time you return to the wagon, you sense he gained a deeper understanding of it all. Poor little guy, he's the only one not maxed out. Yep, Cern, yep. Sir Gilman is fuming in anger over something, so much so that you're hesitant to approach him, but you approach him anyway. Exile is too light a sentence for this knight. He notices you then and seizes up. He begins acting rather nonchalant, as though his outburst did not just transpire. Oh, greetings to you, noble Master Reader. What brings you to this knight this afternoon? Ask him if everything is all right. You maintain a gentle tone with him and ask whether there's something he might wish to discuss. Sir Gilman perhaps could benefit from talking through his woes. He stands there for a time, silent and dejected, but then... Master Reader, this knight cannot escape the horrors of his past. It seems that you would hear them. Then you have this knight's apologies ahead of time for burdening you further with his troubles. Having said that, here then are the troubles you requested. You are of course familiar with the siege of the Spiral Sanctum. For this knight, the memory of it is like a wound which will not close. This knight stood there on the front lines, while the high-wing remnants descended upon us. So furious was their assault that our chain of command was ruptured, instantly. We of the Sea Dominion, we require orders to perform our duty. Without such orders, why, we surely made a very easy target there that eve. One by one, then two by two, they picked us off, becoming bolder some of them, shrieking with laughter all the while. This night he saw his comrades cast aside like sea flies. How this knight survived he does not know for certain even now. Perhaps it was that he attempted to pursue and to detain his own knight commander, whom you met, when you first met this knight. That cursed Sir Deluge, if not for his craven cowardice, the Spiral Sanctum, it might have held at least for a while longer. But instead we were routed, rendered spineless both in form and deed. Sir Deluge was first to turn and flee, as our chain of command crumbled. And as for this knight, he failed to catch his knight commander. He must have looked a coward too. Thus came the time for penance, and this knight, why, he insisted on the only course of action reasonable. He insisted on the sentence to the downside. And as you can plainly see, his wish was then fulfilled. How absurd that he should re-encounter his old knight commander here soon after. Thus did this knight become obliged once more to Sir Deluge. We took to the waters in the Sea of Solace, where soon we met the Pyre hearts, a triumvirate exclusive to our kind. It was plain to see that they lacked wherewithal, and Sir Deluge, they thought he could provide it, the leadership they sought, and his was too much of a coward to decline. And as for this knight, being of the Sea Dominion, he had little choice but to comply, or so at first he thought. When he encountered you in the Nightwings, something awakened within him. With so little honor left to lose, and so much left to gain, it became eminently clear that this knight stood a better chance within your ranks than those of Sir Deluge. And there is little left to say. This knight cannot escape his past, and yet he chooses to believe that he was spared that day not merely by coincidence. Perhaps Under King Ors yet has plans in store, in which this knight may play a part. This knight, he clings however vainly to that hope. He slithers away, his head bowed low. It seems best to leave him be for now. You sense he feels relieved at having shared all this. The Ridge of Gold. I wish it was the Ridge of Soul, and then I would truly be rich. Hey guys, hey, what are you doing all the way back here? You know, it's not so bad here, I was thinking. And I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out. Pile of Stardust. I don't think I need it for anything, though. Oh, I guess that could be leveled up more. I suppose it could. That's maxed out. That doesn't get leveled. Yeah, okay. It was at 16, so I really just need a +4. Wait, I had another one? Oh, I didn't realize. Oops. Give me the zoomies. Can't afford it. This one is so good, though. Pleasure doing business with you guys, so, After making all the necessary preparations amid the lush overgrowth of the Ridge of Gold, you and your companions await the commencement of the rites. It's quieter even than usual at the onset of such events. The lone minstrel appears bearing some sort of news. I've checked, and it appears as though the Tempers have not yet arrived, Reader Madame. There's no sign of Ignarius or anyone. Their sigil's not set either. If what he says is true and your adversaries are not present, then you presume the rite cannot commence. However, the stars themselves soon indicate you are mistaken. It's Orlek. I'm gonna kick his butt. All he had to do was say please and I'd let him join the Nightwings.
Reader, the Commonwealth, your home. Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books. Aflame because of you.
Viva Revolution!
Because of your outlandish plan. Not that you care. Not that you shall live to see this place again.
Why won't I
Your
live?
attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
I might succeed
So
a
by all
little.
means, keep trying. As for myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
The rite is set to commence, but your adversaries, they failed to show. Smartest choice I've seen them make. They had no chance at getting in another liberation rite, did they? Indeed. As the rites are drawing to a close, some of the triumvirates whom you've met Perhaps they're beginning to decide the stars are not worth heeding anymore. Ignarius. You wonder whether he would give up on the rite like that. He did seem rather disaffected, having failed in the liberation rite before. Perhaps he did finally decide to quit for good. In any case, we've begun the ceremony here, and so I ask that we end it.
Go on, then. Sir Gilman. Tamatha. Bertrude. The choice is cast.
We take no pleasure snuffing out a flame disowned.
Lo, even
God, I
your
really have to play by
adversaries have
myself.
abandoned you, and it is done. The Nightwings prevail by default.
Feels
Not
bad, man.
that their adversaries even care.
A contest against no adversary is no contest at all.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes.
He didn't get any
May
XP.
misfortune find you ere the turning of the stars.
Bum, bum. There's a sparkly up there. No one speaks further of the tempers back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come. Last chance, then, is it? If any of us is going to get out of here still, it's this time or never. The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of the rites is now upon us. He looks over to you. Please look forth, reader madame, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we're going next. The others turn to you as well. You turn toward the wagon's door, and you know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you toward the end point of your path. Gonna beat up Orlek! You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars revealed to you one thing more. The adversary whom you face shall be Orlek. Already he's crossed Scribe's Gate and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it's only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. It's a shame that we should have to confront Orlek in the end. Our goals never should have been at cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desired. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best as you can for the coming trial. Rest well, reader. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan and to get somebody home, but who? He had no crime. We also chose to come here. I still can't talk to my girlfriend. I want to break her out of the crystal.
Foolish reader.
Yeah,
Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting you.
It's okay.
You shall never have your freedom.
It's fine. I really hope I get to beat him up. By dawn, you're already up and about after a troubled slumber. The Black Wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the Fall of Solium, and no one speaks. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? By all means. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you may hear it. He begins without another word.
When the stars align
That's funny. They turn off the speedy. They turn off the fast flying. Wonderwall? No, Goo! Has this guy done music other than for Pyre? I mean, other than for Pyre, other than for Supergiant games? Or has he only done it for their games? Temple Cistern. Sir Gilman shall gain favor. Pamitha shall gain favor. Gotta go with our girl. You touch down amid the ancient formations of Mount Elodiel to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. After having landed, you join Pamitha on an expedition to the monument of Jomir Many Remain, for what is likely to be the final time. Well, Pamitha, here you are again. Enjoy it while you can, I guess, because it sounds like this is your last chance on everyone's. What would you even do if Rita Darling there decide to pick you? Have you even decided yet, or do you need more time there, You'll always be an outcast, Pamitha. There's nothing waiting for you where you're from, and your sister hates you. Yet you want to go back anyway. Maybe because they thought they'd seen the last of you. Just imagine the looks on their faces. Soon she's finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Jomir Many Mane has shown you favor. At dawn, you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. Here you go, bud. This knight is always keen to take even the barest scraps of wisdom, Master Reader. You ask Sir Gilman to explain to you in his own words the histories of the 8 scribes, and speak to how their varied backgrounds form the basis of not just the rights, but of the Commonwealth. There we go. This knight is the epitome of indomitable spirit. He's achieved the culmination of his training. How wonderful a feeling having nothing left to learn, Master Reader. Nothing whatsoever. This knight highly recommends it. This knight loves Under King Ors the best of all, of course. Let's go! Here in the fading glory of Mount Elodiel, you encounter a messenger imp sent to deliver you the latest news and rumors from the other side. You learn this imp was personally sent by Volfred himself to fill you in on all of the latest happenings with him since he was liberated at the fall of Solium. On arriving in the Commonwealth, he was taken in with open arms and soon offered a seat among the Justices of Peace. He admits that he was quite taken aback by everything at first. But he of course refused, stating his belief that the traditions of the Commonwealth had been corrupted over the many years. Such remarks put him in real danger. In the next moment, however, he was whisked to secrecy and safety by his sons and daughters of the Revolution in a daring raid. The Commonwealth claims he perished in the brazen act. Now Volfred continues his work to find a way to bring home all the rest of you, and to transform the Commonwealth according to his plan. He closes with a message to you all: have faith, we shall prevail together in the end. You thank the imp for bringing you this news, which gets all of your companions talking. Glory be to our companion Volfred. Though he may be a traitor in the strictest sense, this night all of us do know his cause is just. Unsurprising. From all of our years we know him for a stubborn sort. His will cannot be shaken. He has his convictions, I'll give him that. But convictions can't erase the centuries of enmity between my people and the Commonwealth. May the scribes keep watching over you wherever you may go, sir, even if the rites themselves shall cease, ere your plan is achieved in full. The news of Volfred's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with resolve. The messenger imp accepts a small bite to eat from you and hurries away. Ferocious roar. You stand before the scribe's gate with your companions. The gate guardian is there as ever, but you sense something different in her. The exiles of the Nightwings, we shall not meet again after the coming rite. Tarek and I. It shall be time we take our rest, I think. Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I'm uncertain anyone amongst us feels less. We have a duty to uphold, Tarek. And then what, Celeste? Oh, we got a Glub Glub. And then we have a bunch of full moons. Goo, that's too many full moons! I'm gonna cut you off. Ow, ow, ow! Ow, ow, ow! Ow, ow, ow! Ow, ow, ow! And then nothing. Not for the rights or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwing, step forward. Please state your names and what it is you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step. I'll go. Pamitha Thane. I came seeking my blood sister Tamitha's forgiveness, since she ended up in here because of me. Maybe something good can come of it as yet. Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion, at your service. This knight's never-ending quest for honor shan't end here, yet first he has a noble duty to uphold. We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood, for we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business. Finally, you step forth once more. You, a common wanderer who vowed to help her friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tarek. You stay right there. I thought you said... The rites are not yet ended, Tarek. He looks to her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. You've gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time, the final time in which any one of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. The Beyonder Crystal seeks me! Thank you for visiting on such short notice, reader. I understand you have important matters to attend to. So let me be blunt. Please, listen for a moment, then. I know this whole affair is coming to an end, all of it. I sense the binds that form the rites becoming weak. Which means soon you will not need me anymore. Not that you've needed me at any point, but still, my services will not be of further use. I would love to tell you that this means I shall be free from my eternal prison. For some of my Beyonders there shall be a release. My accomplices are bounded by weaker words than those which have bound me. They shall fade away, I think, and finally rest. I, however, shall remain. She hesitates for a moment. Thus I have a proposition for you. I do not know where you shall go from here, but I ask that you take me there, wherever it shall be. By that I mean, take this stone prison of mine and keep it. Do not just leave it as all your predecessors have, each time their stay among the Nightwings reached an end. Soon the Beyonder Crystal shall serve no use at all except to keep me trapped. I'm content to remain thus, for I have little choice, though I'd prefer to do so in your company. For I do enjoy your company, reader. This may not be much of a compliment, but I assure you that I much prefer your company to an eternity of solitude. I have no wish to see you gain in years and eventually decay whilst I remain unchanging. But I should rather have more years whilst having contact. Even if those years are to be brief, they shall afford me many more in which I might think back upon our times. Nor do I expect you to accommodate my needs, for I am well aware I have my limits in accommodating yours. That is to say, I wish you to go forth after this night and live your life, however you see fit. For your own sake, may all this rights business enrich your coming days somehow. And in considering that life after this night, If you think that there may be a place in it for me, however small, then once again I simply ask that you take me along. That way, should you ever wish to visit me again sometime, you could. And I would like to have that as an option more than not. My request here is a selfish one, for there's little I can offer in exchange, other than what little my companionship is worth. Perhaps I could lull you to sleep once in a while. Who knows? You'd always try and sell the Beyonder Crystal for a reasonable sum somewhere, or something to that end. There must be someone out there with an interest in this thing. So then, you've heard my sad little proposition. What do you say? Yeah. You grasp the Yonder Crystal and set it into the folds of your clothing. Sandra senses this and makes a sound, although surprised. Thank you, reader. She's at a loss for a moment, and then... Let us go, then, from this place. Go and face your last remaining adversaries. May you crush them under heel and achieve the outcome which you seek. I believe you shall prevail. She disappears into the stone for now. Hey guys! I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, I'm going on business here, I guess. Just hasn't been the same, you know, with all the stars all fading out and stuff. Anyway, just wanted to say, you guys are great. I'm not sure I'm gonna miss having you guys as my customers and all that. But I got some good news though too. All my stuff is all on sale now, and I'll throw a little extra in there just for you, okay? So enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay? 5% off? Woohoo! Wow. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Oh, hey, Shrey! Hello, hello. I'm doing good, how are you? I'm having a good day. Gotta treat my girlfriend right. Must be our lucky day here, or I don't know what, Dad. Commence the liberation! You've gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there, perhaps, some bit of wisdom that's eluded you thus far. Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I'm grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up and extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Pamitha has joined you. All of your companions are there with her, in fact. Well, reader darling, what do you say we give those old scribes a real show to remember, then, shall we? Master Reader, it's been this night's greatest honor to have served with you. Let this be our most glorious stand yet. Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of thy kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful. You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions with whom you've withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Wilfred's plan, the plan of which you've all been a part, shall be decided one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. I wonder if there's anybody who has done every single one of those titans, like all at once. You doing alright, Shrey? Good to hear it. What are you up to today? Have you been watching any of the gaming news?
Look, for one last time, upon the fall of Solium, dear reader. Hear me for one last time. For soon, the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land where you deserve to be. The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite. You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free. For you
Still
deserve
playing
each
lead,
other.
gotcha. The pyres burn, each of the triumvirants is present and prepared. Before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom. Not another word. The demon Orlick slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I waited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it here upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment silent, then Orlick dons his mask and stands prepared. Have I played Bastion? Yep, I've played all the games by this developer now. I've played Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and Hades. Although I still have to finish Hades. May these damned rites cease forever for the misery which they caused. Plus 40 health to that well. Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Orlick shall be returned. Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision, and conduct this rite with glory. Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please. It is time now to choose who, if anyone among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside till the end of your days. One by one you meet the gazes of your fellow exiles. Pamitha, Bertrude, Sir Gilman. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you've come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Are you prepared to choose this one last time? No, the pressure is too great? Yes, there's no turning back? I mean, you gotta, don't you? You gotta. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation. Too bad for the rest of you.
Orlick. And who are his friends? An imp and a savage. I'm gonna let my girlfriend go. I tell you that you've made a terrible mistake there, reader darling, but I think you haven't made as many as I have, so I'll try not to mess this up for either of us. Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Pamitha as well as you.
Who shall be at her side?
Master Reader, this night is overflowing with resolve to see the goodly Pamitha return to rightful dignity and glory. Thy will is ours, Reading One. Let the remaining stars shed their light upon our ceremony here. I should have changed her amulet. There's no obstacles in here. Those are to be my adversaries, then. And who is it, I wonder, who will assert her will over that group? You sense Orlick searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own liberty for sake of them. Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Orlick stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the right shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The new League turn-based game, Ruined King? Oh, I didn't know that was out. Cool. I know that Riot had like a couple different games like in development. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tarek. Aye, I'm prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste, let us make sure of it.
Begin. The final chance at liberation for the age.
Goodness gracious. Ouch! How is he fast despite being a demon? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh! That was so close. Damn. Oh, I got it. Okay. Yes! One down. Yeah, the enemies in this game cheat a lot, actually. Damn. Damn! Oh, heck. Oof, my girlfriend. Slither, 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 slither. Ah! Dang, 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 dang. The sky rains ash, soon shall your Pyre's own mingle with them. Just then the skies begin to rain down fire, the final throes of the cycle of the rites and the ending of the age. What? What the heck? Hey! Nice, nice, nice.
Has doused the flame.
Ooh, okay.
The Nightwing's edge closer to victory. No mercy shown. All banished.
Ooh.
Vampire's flames grow weak.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But this can't be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you!
How he has changed, that boy. Grown old and bitter low these many years. Unfortunate. All for naught.
Dang. Slither, slither, slither.
Banished from this place. Fear not the purified.
I circled around it a bit there. Ouch. Nice. He's so fast. Orlok stands breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin look of flame that is his smoldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate.
The orb's unclaimed again. And there it is, at last.
I did it. I freed my girlfriend.
Nightwings proved their worth. Their adversaries they defeated utterly.
Thank you, thank you.
Thus ends the liberation rite.
Woo!
And
Woo!
thus, the scribes have chosen.
Let's go, girlfriend! Not bad there, reader darling. Just another night in the downside, no? You look upon Pamitha for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the shimmer pool shall engulf her. Ah, party! Any moment now, she shall return to glory and join with Volfred's agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the right shall end until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus, the scribes have chosen. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Excuse me.
And thus, the scribes have chosen. Oh. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
I don't even know. Damn, did we already miss our chance? Each prior time upon the fall of Solium, the Shimmer Pool has opened, following the liberation rite and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it's already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Orlok approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Pamitha looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery, it is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Orlok strides towards the Shimmer Pool, but... Halt, Orlok! Orlok glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside and you shall surely drown, of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then we have all been cheated. No, the Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose, ere the last light of the stars is extinguished and the rite cease to be. This is the final trial of the scribes. The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it is all meaningless? No, the victor of this confrontation is to be the one to make the choice, among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or she who anointed them. Then in sounding rather like I can get out of here, though maybe you can, reader darling. Aye, it shall be either you, the reader, or... It shall be either or. Pamitha, please, make your decision quickly, lest it be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. Quite the dilemma, but I think I know which way I'm leaning here. Reader, darling, do me a favor now and go, get out of here. Before I go, start having second thoughts. Pamitha wishes to give up her freedom so that you may regain yours. Very well. Reader, madame, the choice which Pamitha made, or rather the choice which she gave, it is yours now to make instead. This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this, absurd. It may until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial. And I fear that there is little time remaining now. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial to each other to accept the freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? scared that if I choose Oralek, it's gonna mess up the plan. But like, he rightfully should get out of here. Your thoughts crystallize. You've chosen Oralek. What? Oralek, do you accept the reader's choice or shall you make another? No, I shall not make another. I accept the reader's choice. The reader's mercy. Then it is done. For a moment, Oralek appears to be at peace, and then he is gone. I think he will feel indebted to me, and as a result, he will work on the plan.
Scribes. No stars remain aloft.
And this way, me and my girlfriend can stay together.
It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What shall become of us? Nightwings. The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
I don't know what's gonna happen. It's Oralek. He's going. He's going. Come on, buddy. That night, the exile Oralek returned to the Commonwealth. He was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the rites had run its course. He found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Wilfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles in the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile, or joined in the new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saurian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Today we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. After the cycle of the right ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings become inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest that the exiles of the Nightwings who remained in the downside continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there's no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that, when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was such obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather, that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fate of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claimed to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. Can you believe this, reader, honestly? Sandra has appeared before you as well as you can see. They're so far from the mark with all this nonsense, I'm wont to laugh. In fact, here goes. She laughs. She's referring to the account of her. You sense she does not care for it. Well, let them gossip all they like. I merely wish they would have mentioned you, at least in passing, when next they're at it. Though they shall never know even the half of it, shall they? Reassure her. Humor her. Remain silent. You indicate to Sandra that the real truth of what happened between you would perhaps make too lascivious a tale to be told in such a format. She makes a bemused sound at this. Perhaps that story ought to get out then. To think that they would go to all the trouble to make literacy accepted once again, only to print such drivel. Anyway, let's keep going, lovely reader. We know the truth of it. That's what matters. She fades into the Beyonder crystal for now, and you tuck it away safe. Who should we go with next? Let's start with all the minor characters, and then we'll do ours. With the rights drawn to a close, the Slug Market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those of an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortunes. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with the messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave to it one of his remaining trinkets which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from the Saurian Union. Lycander, why? Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from a legal standpoint in the Saurian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Saurian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive nights staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted rather forcefully that any evening now the stars would shine for him again and mark the way towards his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there have been sightings of a bedraggled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting he yet lives. Turn on the fog machine! After the cycle of the rites had ceased, Witch Udmild returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the pit of my lid. There, even her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time and left her to her vile work. Some time later, the pit of my lid erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jomir Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled and the grounds had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of Witch Udmild could be found. As for the contents of the pit of Mylith, well, notably included a profane object, thought to be the remains of Yalsh. All of it was gone as well. Back in the Saurian Union, Udmild's repeated threats of the return of Yalsh were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He'd escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion, he'd escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient tests were crestfallen, as their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that at last there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. Having heard that Sir Gilman had also remained behind, Deluge made a point of avoiding him at all costs. Nonetheless, they ran into each other once, riding a cold current in the Sea of Solace. The meeting was terse and cordial. Deluge ended up apologizing profusely for mistreating his fellow Worm Knight, and that was the end of it. While most of his fellow exiles with Pyre hearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses toward conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, who had taken a liking to him, for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which began to explain the significant increase in the worm population observed in the vicinity. You. When Manly Tinderstroff realized the strikes had ended, and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through the ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all of his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even Pyre. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Tinderstock bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroad. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Templars to call it quits. But first, he and the Templars decided to celebrate, and they did for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside, the exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long and took on many lovers in his time. However, he sometimes thought back about the one he called Curly Horns and what became of her. Though his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he'd cultivated at that time. I wish I could have sent him to the other side with Jodie. Maybe he would have grown on her. Throughout her exile, Tamitha Thane was motivated by a single goal, to return to the Commonwealth and exact vengeance on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings, who'd formed a pact to regroup on the other side after their liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth's defenses, and revealed to the Highwing remnants the opportunity for a risky, but potentially impactful strike. As Tamitha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night known as the Scribe's Return, the Commonwealth had fallen, the Highwing remnants thus prevailed at last without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha encountered her blood sister Pamitha come to pay her a visit. Pamitha had hoped that her people's victory on the other side would be cause for reconciliation. Tamitha was skeptical of her intentions, however, and lashed out at her. Pamitha made no attempt to elude the attack and was struck full on. This cost Pamitha the use of her right wing, yet after she recovered, she shrugged the incident aside and said maybe he could call it even now. From that point on, the Blood Sisters kept a formal distance but were cordial with each other. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. Well, that didn't go how I'd hoped. As the cycle of the rites drove to a close, it grew evident that the chance of freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Delbert and Almer Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomir Valley. There they struggled to get by as exiles of the downside tried to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Old Hearts at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Delbert great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down along with his son. Delbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Almer never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Delbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Almer began a new journey. Not a day went by that Almer Oldheart did not think back about his father and gave thanks to him, and speak of him at morning and night. Whether the stars yet shone, for surely Delbert would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching over him and his kin. I feel bad. Barker Ashpaws never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling, so when the rites ended, he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he'd always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Jomir Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who'd not heard of it at all, started to take an interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaws some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who led such a directionless existence to that point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any other exile of his time or more was oft debated by those who watched him work. Let's find out. What do you guys think? Should we find out about the people who stayed behind or the people that went to the Commonwealth first? Should we find out about him? Oh, a glub glub. Thank you, Lycander. I'm curious about these two as well, but I feel like I should do them last. Let's start with Tizo. The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the scribes, imps are native to the downside, and thus care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Blowford Sandalwood's plan. During the night of the scribe's return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They'd only heard of the downside imps before from legends of Hob the Swallow. The Swallow? Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. He would visit his friend Faye at every opportunity. She was among the few who could consistently interpret what he meant, and they were always close since first they met. Sandalwood sometimes called for his assistance, and Tizo was always happy to oblige. The two would often reminisce about their times with the lone minstrel. Tizo often missed his interactions with the reader in the Nightwings. They had quickly built quite a rapport back in the downside. He and Aurelek reconciled as well. Aurelek offered him free room and board, and that was that. Tizo liked riding on his shoulders. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role of something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head. Although he did take full advantage of his access to the Saurian Union's fishing industry. Hedwyn. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth, and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be a liberated exile, he was believed to be Gold Golthanian reborn. More importantly, however, was that one of the winged harps of the Highwing remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Fikani Shang. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as a leader in the Saurian Union, Hedwyn often confided in his friend, Jodariel. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he'd pledged to Jodariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. He'd broken that vow, for in the end, not all of them were able to return. A terrible guilt over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he'd often lifted theirs. All of the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so in turn did they oft think of him. After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury, and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given into his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Blowford Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of Scribe's return, Greentail was there with the others, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jomur Many-Mane himself. When dawn finally came, and it became clear to the Commonwealth that everybody knew would be no more, he realized that many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends, and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. After her liberation, Jodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Saurian Union. Also, hey Darth! Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe that she was Solium Mur, reborn. She became a great if reluctant leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Jodariel's seasoned expertise often came into play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She kept an eye on Faye, who nonetheless demonstrated a surprising knack to get by on her own, though Jodariel was always willing to provide assistance, just in case. She never settled down with anyone, although from time to time she thought about Ignarius despite herself. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. The Commonwealth had never provided a sense of home for the one that they called Faye the Fair, so she was surprised on her return that she was so well treated. She felt uneasy about it, and besides, she knew that she would do her best to fulfill the pledge she'd made to her friends. Even she could not have expected the impact she would have on the events that followed, which gave rise to our Saurian union. Despite not being the image of any of the 8 scribes, Faye nonetheless stood out among the others, amid the teeming masses on the night of Scribe's return. She spoke of the scribes with such conviction and sincerity that the crowd was very moved. After the fall of the Commonwealth, there was a renewed interest in the legend of the 8 scribes, and many new interpretations of their histories and teachings. Faye found herself at the center of all this. Her way of speaking continued to compel a growing audience. She swayed many people from their astralist beliefs. Soon the 8th word, which had lost favor with the people during the reign of the Commonwealth, sought her out, and asked her formally to join, and that she did right away. Among her friends, she always remained close to Tizo, who, more so than anyone, could always make her laugh. She cited her relationship with Jodariel as the single most important in her life. Jodariel would always provide for her a circumspect perspective and the wisdom of experience. Faye always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Many people in the Saurian Union cited that her gentle manner and unwavering conviction helped them brave the changing times with courage and with grace. When Wolfred Sandalwood regained his freedom, he knew that his work had only just begun. The nation that had exiled him to life in the downside now prepared to honor him, but he was not interested in such ceremony, nor in freedom on the Commonwealth's own terms. He soon rejoined his agents, with whom he had been coordinating for years, slowly, carefully preparing for a night that soon would come. For Sandalwood and his loyalists and sympathizers, true freedom was at stake, not just theirs, but that of everyone living under the Commonwealth. He hoped to gather liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites having ended sooner than expected, this optimal scenario became impossible, but Sandalwood did not relent and prepared to execute his plan, imperfect though it was. On the night of Scribe's return, he stood as one of the 6 former exiles of the Nightwings, and their voices echoed together through the streets. These former exiles, who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring this was his priority that night, and in the end, the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood's work was far from over still. He labored ceaselessly with representatives from across the population to restore a sense of stability. This transitional period had its troubles, though none that were not quickly resolved. Such was the will and spirit of the people. They understood their freedom carried new responsibility. After the Saurian Union was born the next year, Sandalwood was elected as the nation's first prime minister. It was not his intent to run for this office, but the people chose him anyway. He led our fledgling nation through its nascent years? I feel like JD and Craig had told me how to say this word, and I already forgot. One of his allies in all of this was the imp Tizo, with whom he had traveled all across the downside. Sandalwood often cited Tizo as the wellspring of his own enthusiasm for a brighter future. Such was the creature's spirit. Nascent, okay. He evidently made amends with his old one-time friend Orlek, with whom he clashed during their days as exiles. Orlek was instated as the nation's chief physician and became a close confidant. As Wolfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and contributions, he remained ever steadfast about 2 things. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day on his birthday, the people of the Saurian Union presented to him a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more valuable than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his former exiles and our cause. Oh, this is a doozy. In the aftermath of the final liberation rite, Orlek at last returned to his nation, one he had not seen in nearly 2 decades. He scarce recognized it. After all, it was in the midst of a transformation, a social and cultural upheaval sparked by Wilfred Sandalwood's plan. When Orlek witnessed the people of the Commonwealth standing shoulder to shoulder and chanting together on the night of Scribe's return, he looked on in silence for a time. Then he stepped toward the crowd. A murmur and a hush moved through the gathered citizens at the sight of him, for they'd never seen someone thus changed by the downside. Didn't they see Jodario? But then Orlek raised his voice with theirs, and they all stood united once again. History would know him as the Demon Doctor, a term of endearment that stuck even after his horns started to recede. He lent his skill and service throughout the birth of the Saurian Union. The one he had called the Shadow of the False Nightwings was someone whom he thought of often. He knew he owed his freedom to her. In light of having witnessed the aftermath of Sandalwood's plan, Orlek sought out his former companion. While they kept private the details of the conversation that took place, it must have been enough to rebuild the bonds of friendship between the two of them. They were often seen together after that. Orlek later reunited with Tiza, who took residence with him, in some ways similar to how they lived in the olden times. The imp always enjoyed his company. Along with his thoughts, Orlek would sometimes visit the memorial to the fallen leaders of the Commonwealth. Other than such appearances, and notwithstanding his duties as Master Physician of the State, Orlek led a very private life. Few would have guessed that he once was one of the most accomplished rites conductors in the history of the Nightwings. History, of course, shall ensure that we shall not forget. Yeah, thanks, neighbors. The Worm Knight Sir Gilman had elected to go into exile as penance for his failure to uphold his military obligations to the Commonwealth. What the hell? They keep honking. To him, earning back his freedom was tantamount to erasing the shame of his past. His honor was at stake more so than anything. Yet when it became clear to him that he would not go free again through the— What the frick? It's a school bus or something, I think. When it became clear to him that he would not go free again through the rites, he readily accepted the outcome, for he knew by then that much more was on the line. He regretted not having had a chance to contribute directly to the events that transpired in the Commonwealth, though he was pleased to hear the outcome. The conclusion of the rites and the fall of the Commonwealth made clear to him that his days as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again. They're trying to have an argument with an angry duck. I like that explanation. Unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of a circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly, though he never found as skilled and motivating of a partner as his fleet-footed friend Rookie Greentail, whom he remembered fondly. From time to time he would seek guidance from one of his former comrades, Big Bertrude, much his elder, and a wellspring of perspective on his life decisions. He was always grateful for the counsel of the reader, and would regale her over and over about the time they squashed the spawn of the unfathomed plurns. He wasted no time dwelling on his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. The other Worm Knights stayed well clear of him. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen, and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood than to return home from the downside. The crone called Big Bertrude was a prime example. She'd found a suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There she'd built up the thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then, even monumental events such as the culmination of the rites. It was a school bus honking. How weird. Or the collapse of the Commonwealth are trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired now for decades. Though they were very far apart now, she sought out news as to his whereabouts, and found his actions in the Saurian Union a rare source of inspiration. She maintained an unlikely kinship with the harp Thane, whom she had known during their time together on the Nightwings. They each had different strategies for dealing with life's day-to-day annoyances, a subject that they both found vital, if not fascinating, to no end. By and large, Gertrude kept focus on her work. Whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus did Big Gertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. Time for my girlfriend. After the rites ended, Thane parted ways with the other Nightwings, stating that she needed time alone. Oof. She reappeared sometime after the fall of the Commonwealth, although she expressed mild surprise at the news. She claimed to have no knowledge of what went on, including what role the Howling Remnants had in the events that reshaped the world on the other side. For her part, Pamitha feigned little interest, making the point that they were stuck and what happened elsewhere had little to do with them now. Someone with whom she kept in contact was a bog dweller called Big Gertrude. They would discuss all sorts of matters long into the night, and sometimes hunt together too. One day while traveling to Black Basin, Pamitha ran into her blood sister Tamitha for the first time since the conclusion of the rites. The reunion was not as amicable as Pamitha might have hoped, and Tamitha, still resentful of their history together, turned violent. Pamitha would later brush aside the incident, though always had an injury to show for it, yet from that point on the blood sisters were back on speaking terms, at least for the most part. Having long since felt as though she had no home to call her own, Pamitha continued traveling about the downside. As the tempest swept across the land, changing its features, she found in it a sublime beauty, and in the starless night she still could see just fine. Dark vision, nice. She said such travels tended to remind her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodiel with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tarek nor Celeste were ever seen again. We knew all of this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Saurian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from the downside corroborate each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of the famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties to the rites in favor of a life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. And what of the reader? There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of her. However, some accounts of her began to paint a picture. We know she was of common birth, always directionless and prone to misremembering at times. The journey to the downside left her close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found her. They brought her from the brink. She showed them the path. She pressed onward with the others. She'd made a vow to help her friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. In the end, however, she remained in exile. From that point on, accounts of her diverge. It is said the voice which troubled her she never heard again. Some say she opted for a place to settle in the downside. Though whether that's true, only she knows. Someday, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of the night in all of its brilliant glory, until such time and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived. The
about me.
When she arrived, the book of rights awakened the night wings.
We have to appreciate the music now.
The flame, they follow the stars, bound
It's Headwind.
together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the night.
It's my first girlfriend, Jodario.
Who, having broken the cycle, shall live on in song. Headwind prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has
I wish there were
found his
subtitles.
way home. Captain Joe Dariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rookie Green
I wonder what he'll sing for Faye, because we picked her name.
his worth and return to his family by the grace of the scribes. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end.
They record it for each name?
Touched girl.
No, the Moon Touch Girl. Okay.
Here's the scribes in the world all around her. They have guided her home.
Oh, thank you for Cupcake.
Tizo prevailed, first of his lowly kind, to ascend from the downside. He has found a new home.
Oh wow, so
Circle in the bowl, duty bound to honor the night wings. He remains to the end. Haveth a Thane, born on guilty wings, ever seeking forgiveness. She remains to the end. They follow the stars.
they had to record different versions for each character based on whether or not they stayed.
Strands in a braid till the end.
That's pretty cool. There's not a lot of work.
Wolfred prevailed as the night wings guide, having led them to glory. He has found his way home. The bog dweller Bertrude kept their foes at bay with her finest enchantments. She remained till the end. The reader at last made the night wings whole, having bound them together. She remained till the end. They follow the stars, bound
That's me in the middle. That's me.
Now at the end, as we bid
I think.
farewell
Yeah, that's me.
and to the stars, we shall find a way home. We shall find our way home.
Ow, ow, ow!
Find our way
I just realized I've been howling with the window open. I've been making fun of cars for being noisy, but I'm howling. I'm the true menace to society. It says Scribe's Gate and it turned into a library? There's a rainbow in the background. Oh, it disappeared. Oh, now it's there again. The end. That was pretty cool. I will say that's this is a tough game to stream. There's a lot of talking. But, I feel like it's very replayable. I don't think I would replay it on stream, but I feel like there's so many like little interactions between the characters and whatnot, based on like also like who you send home first. I feel like there's a lot you could get from subsequent playthroughs. True Nightwing campaign mode unlocked. What is that? I have not yet, Goo. No, I'm sorry. Elden Ring kind of took over my life. But I'm very close to finishing Elden Ring too. And then hopefully I can play other games again. Oh, it's a harder New Game Plus? I see. Gotcha. Okay, well, thank you everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for keeping me company. I'm kind of curious, for those of you that played the game, who all did you send home? And did you go home at the end, or did you send Orlick home, or did you send a friend home? I felt like sending Orlick home was the right thing to do. Stop doing the rune arcs, like Hander! Please! I'm gonna be so ruined tomorrow. Gonna have rune arcs out the wazoo. Like, how do I hold all these rune arcs? But yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. I am curious, though, for those of you that played, what ended up happening in your game. So feel free to tell me on Discord or something, too. Cricket says they went home and they sent Pamitha in place of Wolfred. You let Wolfred stay there after he did all the work for the plan? Cricket! My goodness. That's not very nice. I feel like you gotta leave Gilman there, because, like, even though he didn't commit a crime, he also chose to go there himself. And everyone else was, like, sent there against their will. So I feel like you gotta free them. He has connections. I guess. Okay, well, let's see which of our friends are on that we can raid today. What's everybody playing? What? Sunny is drawing. I have never seen Sunny do an art stream before. Let's go raid Sunny and see what he's doing. I just raided him yesterday, but we're gonna raid him again. Or no, not yesterday. He raided me yesterday. But I raided him a couple of days back, I think last week. Alright, we're gonna go raid my friend Sunny. Oh, hey Katie, I'm sorry. I just finished playing the game. I hope you have a good day though, and go check out my friend Sunny. He's doing some art. Alright, bye-bye everybody. Have fun.